We spent the last chapter talking about harmonic structure, and we were using Roman numerals to analyze chords and chord progressions that were already written. And we're going to continue to do that, but starting with chapter 8, we're actually going to start writing our own harmonies and writing our own chord progressions. And what I'm going to do is give you some guidelines to use as a starting place. And I'll go ahead and admit that at the beginning this can feel very rigid and feel like there's a lot of rules, and sure, there are. But at the same time, you have to have a starting place. And once you understand the rules and understand the concepts, then you can expand on them, embellish them in your own way. As Frank Zappa said, to break the rules, you have to at least have a passive understanding of them. So, what we're going to do to start off with is use something called four-part harmony. I talked a little bit about that in the last chapter, but again, four-part harmony, if you've ever sung in a choir, soprano, alto, tenor, bass is a perfect example. The reason we're using that is because it's easy to see, it's easy to understand the chord progressions, and when you get into more complicated music, you can use that as a foundation. Because if you've ever looked at an orchestral score, then you can see that there's multiple voices, different clefs, different instruments, and it gets pretty tricky. Eventually you'll get there, but we're going to start with four-part harmony now. When you're writing four-part harmony, what you want to do is start with the bass note. And in fact, oftentimes the bass note will be given to you. So, start with C, just as an easy starting place. Now, if we're building a C major triad, then the notes we need are C, E, and G. Okay? And since we're doing four-part harmony, and we need four notes, then one of these notes has to be doubled. Okay? The note that you're going to double is the bass note. Okay? So, we're essentially going to have two C's, an E, and a G. Okay? Alright, now, we're starting with the bass note, and we've already got one C. Okay? The next voice that you want to put in is the soprano voice. Okay? Now, you've got three choices. Alright? So, if we choose to put the soprano note on C, okay, then for the other voices, we simply fill in. Okay? So, let's say the alto goes on E, and that means the tenor is going to take the G. Okay. See how that works? Let's do another example. Okay. Again, starting on C, but this time, let's give the soprano note a different note. Okay. Again, we need C, C, E, G. Okay. We've already got one C. Let's give the soprano note the E. All right. Same thing. Simply fill in the other two voices with the notes that we need. Okay. So the alto voice can either have C or G. Let's give it a G. All right. And that means the tenor voice needs a C. Okay. Very simple. Okay. We can do one more example because we can give the soprano note the G as well. So again, we're starting with C as the bass note. This time, let's give the soprano note G. All right. Again, just fill in the voices. All right. Let's give the alto an E this time, and the tenor will get the C. Okay. Very simple. Okay. So do a little bit of practice with this, and then we're going to talk about a few more details in the next lessons.